What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We're back today with something that I hope I don't regret purchasing. I bought a 1994 Chevy 1500 off of ACV Auctions for $10,000 with 269,000 miles on the odometer. So I must be crazy, or there's something about this truck that caught my eye that made me think that somebody has dropped at least $10,000 and maybe a whole lot more under the hood, but we're not going to know that for sure until we get into it. So here it is, my new to me $10,000 1994 Chevy Silverado that says SS on the side. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea. I don't know what specifics there are to look at to tell if it's a real SS or not. I have no idea. I know it looks good. It's got some nice looking wheels. It's definitely lowered. It's got a cowl induction hood. It's black on black. I mean, it looks good. It's got the rain visors on the side. It's got the aftermarket clear headlights and blacked out corner lights and parking lights. It's got a red Chevy badge in the front. I mean, if I do say so myself, it's a good-looking truck. It's a really good-looking truck. According to the listing, it's supposed to run and drive, and that's all I know about it. I know nothing else other than something in the listing caught my eye, and I'm sure you're wondering what that was. Well, besides the fact that it's got a, what do they call this, a roll pan, and besides the fact that it's got the shaved handle, you actually open it from back here. All right, aside from those little things, it said catalytic converters were missing. And look at that, that paint's gorgeous. Don't let it fool you. I did put a tag on it because I just filmed a video on the Cougar, and I literally took the plate right off of that and put it on this one so I wouldn't have to do it on camera. There's a couple things about this truck. One of them is it does have a little bit of fiberglass damage back here. All right, so somebody bumped into something with it, and it's not the end of the world. You know, it's not going to be a perfect truck. I tell you guys all the time, I'm not out here trying to buy perfect vehicles. I want driver quality vehicles. Ones that still look good, that you can, you know, be proud of owning and driving. Not hoopties for sure, but if they've got a ding or a dent here and there, no big deal. It's got the blue line under the Silverado. It's got some very subtle carbon fiber looking stickers, and even down here across the whole body, you've got these nice. Now, if you weren't looking, you probably wouldn't even see it, but this is that really nice carbon fiber weave going down the entire body, only on that one little stripe area. It's a beautiful truck. Let's take a look at the wheels and tires real quick. This is something I noticed too. It's got BF Goodrich G-Force Comp 2 ABS tires. These are, let's see if we can find a size on them. Anywhere, somewhere. It looks like they're actually low on air. These are 245/45 20s. I also notice we've got drilled and slotted rotors. Somebody painted the calipers red. We're definitely going to want to add some air to these tires. Another G-Force Comp 2. These are 275/40 20s in the back. This is a nice looking truck, but as nice as it looks, if it has a stock 5.0 liter under the hood, it ain't worth $10,000 in my opinion. So let's get into the meat of it. There was something in the listing that caught my attention. And yeah, let's go ahead and look at the interior real quick. I mean, it looks good, especially for a truck with almost 300,000 miles. The seat's a little worn, you know, right here for sure from, you know, getting in and out. But other than that, it's not ripped or anything. I love this steering wheel, really nice. But I saw a receipt in here, and I've got to be careful what I show you because there could be people's private information, but here's the receipt that caught my attention. This was in the listing. Yeah, this is what I saw in the listing that took me by surprise. Blueprint engines. And it even has a part number, BP 383. That 383 is very important. Remember the 383, okay? 13CT-CK. Well, I was able to get a hold of Blueprint. And, well, we got some papers here too, some dyno numbers, you know, things of that nature. So we're gonna go up here and show you the dyno numbers on this. Looks like, what is it? Blue is what? I don't know. Red and blue. This was January 29th of 2021, so engine speed, RPM, blah, 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 Superflow Wind Dyno version 3.2. Anyway, it looks like I'm guessing the torque is around 456 and the horsepower is around 431. That's my guess anyway. I could be totally wrong about that. If you guys can read this better than me, well, let me know. But either way, that's pretty impressive. You've also got a book in here from Blueprint Engines, right? So as you can see, there's something going on. And in this stack of papers, there's a ton, guys. There's a ton in those. And one of them, oh, somebody set the e-brake and they set it on top of my speakers. That's nice. That's really nice. So, yeah, they smashed that. I'm going to have to get some pliers to pull that out. But anyway, aside from the Blueprint Engines, it turns out, according to all of the paperwork there, that we have a 700R4 transmission. The Blueprint engine was a kit. It wasn't just the motor, guys. It was an engine and transmission combination along with a serpentine belt drive system that cost $16,000. And I did not know that until I looked at the truck. Now, I have not taken the truck on a drive. I haven't even started it without you guys. In fact, take a look. Here's a fuel pressure gauge right here. You could clearly see it's 0. The engine is ice cold. I can, no, I'm kidding. I'm just joking. See, I can literally, headers are ice cold. So this engine kit was $16,000 before tax. Before tax. You've got this aftermarket serpentine mount system on the front with your idler and your air conditioning. This is aftermarket air conditioning, aftermarket hoses. Supposedly, it looks like this thing has working air conditioning. Aftermarket fuel pressure regulator. I see what looks like a Holley carburetor hiding up under there. It says Holley right on that carburetor. Blueprint Engines air cleaner. We have an Optima red top battery dated 8 of 23. So somebody seemed to have been enjoying this relatively recently. So that's why I bought the truck. I knew from the pictures when I saw this and I saw the book for Blueprint and I was able to look it up. No, this was a engine transmission combo, $16,000. But that's not all. Somebody also did the rear end. Yeah, the rear end has been done in this as well. I don't remember exactly what rear end it's got in it. But let's just say it should be a pretty healthy truck. Now, there's more. It's probably locked on this side. Yeah. So let me show you behind the seat because I thought that these were all of the goodies. No. There's more. Obviously, you saw that it's got some nice little speakers, little kickers or whatever down there in the kick panels. Same thing on that side. You got some nice little speakers there in the kick panels. But if you pull this up, there we go. Oh, you got some JL audios down there, guys. Yeah, looks like a couple of 10s on this side, and there's probably nothing but the amps over on the other side. So, now what do you think? For $10,000 with all of these goodies, you think she was worth it or no? Now again, I got to be careful because I don't want to show too much information on this, but if you look over here, the mileage was 251,820. And if you look down here, the gears are brand new 373 gear set, new Detroit True Track posi unit for 8.5 and 10 bolt, master install kit for GM 8.5 rear end, and shop supplies. This all came out to $1,950. Yes, $2,000 on top of the already $16,000 for the motor and transmission alone. And keep in mind, this does not include lowering it, the wheels, the tires, or anything else. This is just an engine, transmission, and a rear end. You're already looking at $20,000, and I paid 10 grand. All right, so I found another paper, which is the install of the engine, transmission assembly. Install long tube headers, fabricate new exhaust system, new issues with gauges, fuel level, speedo, tach, fuel pressure for carb, and then down here, dual E-fans, HD radiator, ceramic coated long tube header, stainless steel exhaust system with X-pipe, and what else? AN fittings for the hoses for the fuel system, upper lower radiator hose, trans reluctor ring for swap. Total price on this, $4,300. $39. Here's the paperwork for the transmission, the BPP 700R4 Street Smart package. And then I'm going to stop going through these guys because I haven't even gotten into the rest of this. All right, there are tons of documents on this truck, and the mileage it's only gone up maybe 8,000 miles since everything was installed. Nick, what do you think of this truck?
I like it.
He likes it. You drive this to school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. A 383, I think it has 373 gears, 700R4 transmission. I have yet to start it. I wanted to do this with you guys. The sun's going down, so we're going to have to hurry. I'm just blown away because we are way over $20,000 invested into this truck that was driven less than 10,000 miles and then sold for $10,000. There's got to be at least 25 grand. And again, that is without lowering. That is without the wheels and tires. You've got to be at least maybe $25,000 into this truck. So, why don't we fire it up together? Nick, I'm going to unlock your door. If you could take all those documents and put them back into the, yeah. There we go. We're going to do this together, guys. Let's see how it does. It is carbureted. Give it a few pumps. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, look at these bandana sun visors. Oh God, that sounds good.
That does. You want to just tap down on these?
No, put them back in the container that they came out of.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. Holy crap, that sounds good. Wow. Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting that at all. Wow. Okay, she sounds mean. Turn on the headlights. We got a check engine light, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because there's no computers in. Maybe that's why we have a check engine light. Important windows work. Less important window also seems to work. Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. Look at those headlights. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I can do this. I can do this. Boy, it sounds good. Fuel pressure, let's see what that's sitting at. 6, 7-ish PSI. This thing runs like a top, man. Yeah, I think I'm driving this home today. That's what I think. I think I'm driving this bad boy home. Let's check out the taillights. Maybe I'll drive this for the week. Oh, she's beautiful, guys. Sounds good, huh, Nick? Yeah. Let's check our gauges. Yeah, this is an excellent driver quality truck right here. Tilt wheel. And there's our gauges. Oil pressure is about 60 PSI cold. Battery voltage charging. Fuel looks like it might be full. Hopefully the fuel gauge works. Looks like we still have a functional heater and air conditioner. Let's turn this air conditioning on. I don't expect it to work, but I mean, with 10,000 miles on it, hopefully. I heard it kick on. No way. No way. I'm telling you. And the horn? Horn works. Signals. Left. Right. They flash pretty quickly. Steering feels good. No way. Brakes feel good. Wipers, they work too. Are you kidding me? Air conditioning, I don't know, guys. It doesn't feel like we got air conditioning, but let's take a look and see if the compressor is spinning or not. The clutch. Yeah, she's going. May need a little charge though. It spends more time not running than it does running. I bet it just needs a small charge. Probably doesn't need a whole heck of a lot. We're going to need to air up some of these tires. They're a little on the low side. We'll turn that AC off. There we go. Let's turn on the turn signals. Let's see if we've got one that's not working. Maybe it's just flashing quickly because of the LED bulbs. Well, that's definitely working. And let's see if the front works. Yeah. Let's try the other side. Yes. No way, man. I'm blown away. We'll kick this thing down here in just a second. We're going to take it for a test drive. All right. I mean, it looks good to me. Let's see if we can kick the idle down just a little bit. There we go. Sounds healthy. Let's see if we got gears. Brakes feel great. Yeah. And let's shut her down. What do you think, Nick?
I like it.
You like this?
Yeah, I do.
I like it too. We got oops, I dropped the keys. We got some cup holders. We got an ashtray. A glove box with an extra ignition tumbler and key. Not too shabby. I'm going to air the tires up on this because it does look like we got at least a couple tires are a little bit low, especially these front ones. I want to air those up. And then I guess we'll take the old girl out for a test drive. I see a little bit of residue down here on the intake manifold. Looks like maybe that Holly was dripping a tad bit of fuel. Maybe just a little bit. I don't think it's anything I'm going to be too worried about, guys. I think this is good enough to take out on a ride. Pressure on the cooling system. Not yet. She's getting there, though. This is a nice setup. Whoever did this, let me tell you, man, they spent some serious coin on this truck. All right, well, it seems like she's ready to roll, man. Let's take it on the road. We got a nasty little humming noise coming from the amplifiers. And I hope the gas gauge works, but Nick brought along a gas can with about 5 gallons of gas in it just in case. I don't ever trust the gauges on these things. It seems like it runs great. I mean, with a new engine, a new transmission, and a new differential, it's hard to imagine why it wouldn't run great. Man, it's loud. Good night, it's loud. I'm thinking the speedometer may be off. It says that we're already going 45. I find that really difficult to believe. Now we're going almost 50. There's no way. There's no way. I'm going to have to open my GPS app and we'll find out for sure how fast we're going. But I guarantee you we're not going 50 miles an hour. I'm going to pull off to the side here for just a second. I'm going to open my GPS app real quick. That way we can get a better idea of how fast we're really going. And then we'll get right back. We'll get right back on the road here in just a second. All right, we're going to try this again. I've got my speedometer app open. And let's just hit the road. All right, we are now going 50 according to my speedometer. And what's the GPS say, Nick? 42, yeah. I had a feeling it was a tad bit off. So if you look down here, I'm sure we don't have cruise control or anything, but we get it up to about 60. Now that's 65. Now we're at almost 70. we're not even at 60. I'm going 75 and we're at 61 miles an hour. Yeah, so speedometer is way, way, way off on this one. So about 15 miles an hour off. So we're gonna have to try to figure that out. Probably need some kind of an adapter for the speedometer drive gear. We'll have to look into that and figure it out, but we're gonna try to get it up to speed here. Unfortunately, everybody out here, speed limit is 65 and we're going 50. Yeah, everybody likes to drive really, really slow, which makes it exceptionally difficult to get these vehicles up to speed and really enjoy them and see how they do. If nothing else, we can always do it on the way back. I ended up kicking the headlights on. I turned the heater on. It doesn't seem like the heater works. I know that the heater core is hooked up under the hood, but I think what's going on is that this blend door for this digital control right here, I don't think the blend door is actually operating for opening and closing. There might be something vacuum related under the hood that was left disconnected. I'm not really sure, but I can tell you this, it drives great. It really does. Like, this thing is really comfortable, and I was really concerned because it's been lowered and it's got big wheels, and I was like, man, this thing is probably going to ride absolutely horrible. It really doesn't. It rides really nicely. So far, I'm happy with it. For $10,000, I think I got a steal of a deal. I'd like to make the check engine light go out. Since there's nothing electronic left under the hood anymore, it wouldn't be that difficult just to pop the instrument cluster out, pull the check engine light bulb, and be done with it. We're managing to cruise about 62 miles an hour, but we still have this guy in front of us, you know, taking his sweet time. But so far, runs and drives like an absolute dream, man. What do you think, Nick? Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it is.
Decent?
Yeah.
You like it? You still like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cruising down the road, man. If we could just get that speedometer set up to where it was more accurate, it wouldn't be bad at all. Here's another thing I just noticed. The temperature gauge, if you look down there, the temperature gauge is the second gauge from left, and it is pretty low. So may need to kick up the thermostat a little bit or check those cooling fans. Maybe they're running. I don't know. Either way, it's definitely not warm enough. I haven't been able to even get into it yet. We've just been driving pretty casually. Haven't been able to really get into it at all because we can barely maintain 60 miles an hour thanks to the truck in front of us. But we're coming up on our 5 mile mark, guys. So we're going to turn it around. And we already know what's in the rear diff. We don't need to do the gravel test because we've got receipts for $2,000 for 373 gears along with True Lock lockers. Yeah, we won't be doing that test. We'll get her turned around here, guys. Maybe we can get into it just a little bit and just kind of see how she does. Man, I don't know if y'all can hear that noise, but it's coming from Nick's side of the truck. You said it's coming from like behind the seat?
Yeah, it's behind the seat.
Yeah, there's some kind of interference going on with the amps or something. So she's relatively warmed up, sitting at an idle. Looks like we've got probably around 30 psi of oil pressure. Temperature gauge is finally starting to come up a little bit. Battery voltage looks good, and it still shows that it's full of gas. So we're gonna get on the road. I'm not gonna come out here and like get too crazy with it or anything, but I would like to kind of, you know, hit the gas a little bit, just see what it does. I mean, it's supposed to be a pretty decent engine, right? Oh, wow. I didn't even realize it, but that lit both back tires up instantly. Okay. All right, well, we're already going 60. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so yes, it will absolutely effortlessly light up both of those back tires, which I believe are like 275 wide. Not an issue. Not an issue at all. And the thing is, even though it lit them both up, it didn't feel like it was starting to slide out of control or anything. Like, it was just balls to the wall, you know, ready to roll. Oh, wow. The speedometer's pegged. The speedometer's pegged at like 90 miles an hour, but we're only going 70. That needs to be addressed. Like, seriously, that really needs to be addressed. First impressions of the truck are absolutely worth every single penny. It seems like it drives pretty straight. I think that we may have some slop in the steering gearbox. It handles bumps pretty well, considering it's lowered in the front and the rear. It is not an uncomfortable truck to drive. I just feel like there's a little too much slop in the steering. So I would either like to maybe put a redhead gearbox in it and take care of that slop, or could probably accomplish the same thing by just replacing the steering wheel with the factory size steering wheel. This tiny wheel, it's hard to see, but this tiny wheel makes it feel like you gotta, you're constantly like playing with it. I think a bigger wheel would just feel more natural than this tiny one. But I don't know, man. For 10 grand, you're not going to hear me complain at all on this truck. It's absolutely worth every dollar I paid and a ton more. Nick is already, he's ready. He's ready to take this truck and go to school. I don't think we're ready for Nick to take the truck and go to school. This, no. This thing got some pretty decent horsepower and torque specs. The engine, obviously made by Blueprint Engines, and the transmission as well. You're talking about some exceptionally high quality components under the hood of this vehicle. And the same thing with the rear differential. You basically have a new truck. There's very little left in this truck that has 260 some thousand miles on it. You've got an engine, trans, and rear diff that has less than 10,000 miles on it. And you can bet I'm going to enjoy putting the miles on this one. I think it fits in perfectly with my 80s and 90s collection, guys. We've got so many cars. We'll kind of do a quick walk around once we get back to the house. But like this truck, this fits in perfectly with what I'm doing on the channel right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting dark. We're going to take one more walk around the truck. I'm going to pop the hood real quick. I want to check the gauges again. The temperature is starting to come up, but it doesn't seem to matter, because the temperature, when you kick it up to high to hot, it's still ice cold. Now the radio,
important part,
radio sounds amazing. Like, this thing's got a banging stereo, with the exception of the hum that's coming from, I assume it's an amplifier. That's all I can guess. We'll pop the hood real quick. Uh-oh. Well, we'll try to pop the hood anyway. I definitely want to check the cooling system. Has it got some blue lights down here? I swear I saw some blue lights in here. Yeah, see that? Oh, there we go. Blue lights will get you pulled over. Somebody tried blacking them out. Let's take a quick peek under the hood again. Man, it's got a really bright light under here too. She runs great. Good pressure on the cooling system. It's warm enough that we should have some heat for sure. It's definitely warmed up enough that there should be some heat coming out of those vents. So it does make me think that most likely we've got something going on with a blend door or something. It's not switching over to heat for us. Got a super thick green cable right here. Looks like that goes to an amplifier, and a super thick negative. Somebody put some money into the old girl, man, that's for sure. I estimate, like, when you think about it, we've got over 20 grand in receipts, and I haven't even gone through all of them yet. We're already over $20,000 into receipts, and that is without the wheels. That is without paint and body work, the roll pan. That's without lowering the truck. Like, and that's without the purchase price of the truck. I mean, these old trucks, even in bad shape, these are not cheap vehicles, guys. Somebody probably paid at a minimum, $3,000 for the truck, and that's assuming that it was totally scrapped. It was in horrible condition, really bad shape. Somebody probably paid $3,000 for the truck. The aftermarket lights, like I said, paint, bodywork, tinted windows, the stereo system. I'm telling you, and I think most of you are going to agree with me, somebody has to have been like 30 grand deep into this. At least 20, at a minimum 25, maybe $30,000 deep into this truck that we just got for 10,000 bucks. I feel bad for whoever spent all that money. That's all I got to say. But, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Whoever got rid of this and thought, you know, it wasn't worth it, I can't imagine. I can't imagine spending this kind of money on a vehicle, modding it up the way you want it, and then dumping it for so cheap. It's absolutely insane. Temperature gauge has finally almost made it to the halfway point. We're gonna have to figure the heat out, because it's just ice cold, man. There is like no heat coming out of there at all. Let's check the heater hoses real quick. Let's see if we've got heat going in. It may just be a deal of getting under there. You may have to manually move the blend door from cold to hot. See, here's the heater hoses right here. Cooling fans just kick on. Oh no, they're ice cold. Interesting. Yeah, the hoses, that's bizarre. I can literally put my hand on the hoses going to the heater core and just hold them. Oh, there's a valve or something. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out. Both hoses going to the heater core are ice cold. And that comes straight off the water pump. So there's the reason we don't have any heat. We're gonna have to figure that out. Looks like we got one hose coming off the top here going in, and another one coming off the side of the water pump. Maybe they're flipped backwards. I don't know, but there is absolutely no heat going inside of that heater core. So if you guys have any ideas on that, let me know. It's definitely up to temp everywhere else. It's just going to be a matter of figuring it out. We got cooling fans kicking on. They work. What a great truck. Yeah, that's without the aftermarket cooling fans. You know, somebody paid some money to install those as well. I love this thing. I think I'm gonna drive it home. I'll get my fiance to drive my truck home, and God, it just sounds so damn good. All right, I'm gonna give her a little break. Wait, do I hear the heater? Hold on. I could have swore I just heard gurgling, like maybe it was coming from the heater core. Hold up. No, there's the cooling fans come on even when it's turned off. So that's nice. I mean, as long as you don't have a bad battery, that's nice. As the temperature goes up, a lot of you may not know this, but when you shut off your vehicle, the temperature actually continues to rise after your vehicle's been shut off for a while. So it's nice to know that the cooling fans will kick on and kind of keep everything relatively cooled down after you shut the vehicle off. I don't know. I'm happy with it, guys. Some of you are going to say, oh, you paid too much money. It's not worth $10,000. And some of you are going to see where I'm coming from, and you're going to say, man, you got like a $30,000 truck for $10,000. That's where I'm at with it. But it's new to me, so that could change as time goes on. Drop your comments below. Tell me what you think of the 94 Chevy. Now, I told you before we got out of here, I wanted to go through some of the other cars. In case you're new to the channel and you haven't seen my other vehicles, well, this 94 Chevy fits right in here with my 83 Mercury Cougar 5-liter fuel-injected V8. Next to that, this one kind of doesn't count, but this is my 03 Cadillac Escalade that I got for, I don't even remember, $600. I think I paid $600 for it. This is my 1989 Ford Mustang LX 5.0 manual transmission that I got for $2,500. Next to that is my 87 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS, stock at the moment with a 5.0 liter and a 204R transmission. This is going to be going through some significant changes on the channel in the very near future. I've gotten a sponsorship with Smeding Performance on a Extreme 383 stroker that's putting out about 500 horsepower. Monster Transmissions has also sponsored us with a Stage 3 204R transmission, and we just closed a sponsorship with Holly for an entire Blackheart exhaust system. Next to that, we've got my 1991 Pontiac Sunbird And it is the convertible variety with a 2.0 liter and an automatic transmission. Next to that is my 93, the last of the Mohicans, man, a 93 Fox Body GT. And this has the GT40P heads. It also has GT40 intake and probably some other goodies that we haven't found yet. I did a video on this car and I ended up parking it. I've been really busy. I just haven't had a chance to really go through this car anymore. But that's not all. There's more in the garage. So going into the shop, we have... well, we have a few more vehicles. In fact, my shop is so full from auto parts and vehicles that literally there is no room for anything else in this garage. This is my new exhaust that I was just telling you about for the Monte Carlo SS. As soon as we get the engine, transmission, and all that stuff together, we've got this complete exhaust system, which obviously Hooker, Blackheart. This is like as good as it gets, guys. It's as good as it gets. We've got tons of wheels and tires. And you might notice the Buick Grand National wheels. That's because I do have a Grand National in here. Right here on the bottom, this is my 1991, I believe it is, Pontiac Firebird Formula. I also just bought a 94 25th anniversary edition Firebird Formula. It is on its way. It should be here any day now. So stay tuned for that. It's the white and blue. It's got the blue stripe, white wheels, white leather interior. LT1 engine. Can't wait for that to get here. Up above is the Mustang that everybody loves to hate because most people will not even admit that that is a Mustang. That is a 73 Mustang with a 351 Cleveland. Like I said, guys, I got lots of parts, tons of wheels, tires. This is actually for... these two tires are actually for this Formula right here. I have a new set of wheels for this. And I bought a set of 4 Falcon tires. These are an oddball size. These are 16s, which makes them very weird. But 2 of the tires got lost in shipping. So I'm waiting to get those back. And then I'm going to pull these aftermarket wheels off. And we're going to put these on. I actually found these locally. These are the stock wheels that belong on this car. Not the easiest to find. They may look a little rough, but I'm telling you, they're just dirty. These things should clean up and look absolutely beautiful on this car. I had to look up the sticker on the door there to find out what the original wheel size was, and this was it. These are real legitimate WS6 Firebird wheels. So I got these for $400 on Facebook Marketplace. Turns out the guy was a subscriber to the channel, man. So super cool, dude, for hooking us up with those. Next to that is my 1988, I believe it's an 88 Chevy Cavalier Z24, and it is absolutely beautiful. I wish I had more time to get this thing out and drive it, but unfortunately, I just don't. It has been sitting in this garage since I bought it. I paid $3,000 for it. You know, I paid $5,000 for the Firebird. I paid, I don't remember, for the Mustang, $10,000, $11,000, something like it. It's somewhere between $10,000 and $13,000 for the Mustang. Then next to this, and this is the one that everybody just seems to love, is my 1987 Buick Grand National. This is this is not a T-type. This is a legitimate Grand National. It was stolen back in like 1997 or something like that. It was a theft recovery. It still holds a clean title, but it is on the Carfax report that it was stolen. This is not salvaged. This is not rebuilt. I had to change the wheels because the tires were way too wrong for this, and I wanted to drive it. So I ended up buying a whole set of wheels and tires, and then I bought the right size tires for it and a couple of additional wheels. So yeah, it needs a little work. I got this for $24,000 from auction, sight unseen, as is with most of these cars. And I mean, it runs great and it drives great once it's warmed up, but when it's cold, it runs pretty bad. So we've got a lot of sponsored components for that one. That'll be coming to the channel soon. We also have complete set of brakes. I mean, everything from hard lines, master cylinder, proportioning valve, hoses, shoes, everything sitting right here for the Monte Carlo SS. New drums. It's already got new rotors, and I think it's already got new calipers as well. We've got an upper and lower hose and an instrument cluster for a Fox body. We've got brake pads. I don't even know. carbon fiber ceramic performance. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what these go to. I forgot what these go to. I've got guys, just look at my desk. These are all parts that need to go on these vehicles. I've got these 2 tires right here. I don't even know what they go to. I have no clue what those go to. We got a set of seats right here that were donated to us by a subscriber. I already shouted him out in a previous video, and unfortunately, I can't remember other than his name. I know his name was John. Road Rage Rescues is who it is. That's who it was. I almost forgot, but Road Rage Rescues. We've got so much stuff going on in this shop, guys, and unfortunately, I've been collecting parts for so long now, I can't even remember what all of this stuff goes to. This goes to my 93 Fox body. I remember that. This goes to the 93 Fox body. Good Lord. This is a self-bleeding brake kit that I got from Vivor. And I saw this on Sam Crack's channel. I've seen him use it on a couple different vehicles. And for like 80 bucks, I had to buy one. I had to buy one. It comes with like all of the brake top things, you know, because you got to seal these off to use it, and it comes with basically everything. So now we can do our own brakes and everything, bleed our own brakes without any help. The Mustang, I drove it around for a while, and it's been parked ever since, which is really sad because it gets over 16 miles a gallon. It's actually an amazing daily driver. Like, I'm not even kidding. This car right here, a phenomenal daily driver. We've got my grandfather's 1994 Jawa Barbetta Sportline that we recently got running after it was sitting for over 20 years. And I think that's about it. As you can see, we have the 2 new Grand National wheels. That's a front wheel. We've got the 2 back ones that are 15 by 10. They're way too big. These we will not be using. And then I've got the other one of these in the trunk of the Grand National as a spare. So I'm going to have a lot of extra wheels and tires, and I'm probably going to have to sell for a fraction of what I paid for them. Each one of these sets of wheels and tires, set of 4, cost me probably $1,500. And I'm going to be getting rid of all of them. I have no use for them. I've got to go back with the stock wheels on the Grand National. I think that is about everything, guys. I wanted to give you a real quick rundown and update on all of the vehicles. Look, over here, there's more parts. I didn't even realize this. We got a radiator, a shroud. We've got a fan clutch. We've got a cooling fan. That was all supposed to go on the 89 Fox body. But I'll be honest with you, I'm torn between selling the 93 Fox body and the 89 Fox body. I can't decide which, so right now I'm not going to spend any money on either one of them till I can figure out which one I want to sell. And to be completely honest with you, oh, these are also for the 93 Fox body. When I say I'm not going to spend any money, I mean, it's one thing to buy light bulbs and a radiator cap. It's another talking about spending a bunch of money on wheels and tires or anything like that. But right now, where I'm at with everything, I'm seriously considering letting go of the, what is it, the 89. I think I want to keep the GT and probably let go of the LX. But I haven't made a final decision yet. And then I've got 2 Firebirds. You know, am I going to keep the 91 Firebird formula, or am I going to keep the 94 formula with the LT1? Obviously, the 94 would be superior in just about every way, but there's just something about these old school, you know, there's just something about this car. This is one that I really don't want to get rid of, so, you know, I might try to hold on to this one. It's just getting to a point where I have too many duplicates of vehicles, like the Grand National and the Monte Carlo SS. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to have 2 Fox bodies, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to have 2 Firebirds. So we're getting to a point where I'm probably going to have to consider cutting some of these things out of the fleet. Don't hate me for it. I know there's a lot of people who get really upset with me, but I don't think you guys realize how much money I've spent on all these cars. I mean, I gave you a rundown of about approximately how much each one of these cars costs, and each one of them needs parts, and I have to pay for all of these parts. So, you know, like the Grand National, fun car. It's an amazing car, honestly. It's truly a phenomenal car. I've never had one, never driven one. I love it. I really do. But we're getting ready to build a 500 horsepower Monte Carlo SS, which is basically the same car. It's the same chassis, same body style. Now, while the Grand National is a more rare car, definitely more unique, is it really worth keeping both? I would rather keep the car that I built. You know, I would much rather keep the car that I built myself than, you know, somebody else's Grand National. And for $24,000, I'll tell you something else. I just watched a Grand National sell on the same auction site that I bought that one from, and it was in about the same condition. It's sold for over $40,000. I paid $24,000 for mine. So if I could get anywhere near 40 out of it, down the road it goes, man. Gone. The Cavalier, I have no intentions of getting rid of it just because it was $3,000. It was $3,000. The first video has paid like $3,500, and the second video has paid over $1,000. So I've already made a profit, and I still have the Cavalier. However, things like the 73 Mustang, you know, when you're talking about paying 10 grand plus for a vehicle, it's going to take a few more videos to make sense. Same thing with the Firebird. The videos on that didn't do a whole lot of good. So I got to take into consideration what cars people are actually going to watch the videos on, because those are the cars that makes more sense for me to keep. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, comment below and tell me what you think of all of the cars and how much I paid for them. Do you think I got good deals, bad deals, average deals? But remember, this video is specifically about that 94 1500. What do you guys really think of that truck? Are you with me on it? I feel like I stole it. I do, because I know that somebody had to have spent, they had to spend at least 30. All in. I'm talking about from purchasing the truck, bodywork, lowering kit, wheels, tires, stereo system, engine, trans, rear end. I'm talking everything. There's no way somebody is not into that truck for less than $30,000, and they only put like 9,000 miles on it. To me, that's, I don't know. For me, that makes me really want to hold on to that truck. Plus, out of all the cars we got out here from the 80s and the 90s, we have no trucks. That's the only truck, which kind of makes sense to have a truck if we're going to have all these other vehicles. I'm going to get out of here, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hit the thumbs up button if you did. Drop the comments down below, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Till next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.